We are back at the observatory. I'm not sure if you can even see anything. It's quite dark, but not dark enough for what I actually want to do today. So I've been a little bit working on a follow-up video about the radio telescope. There it is. But that's not what I want to talk about today. We're gonna keep going up these stairs, which you can't see either. That's okay. Because there's something I've been wondering about for the past few days. First, let's set up our base here. Unload all of the stuff I have. What a nice view. Oh my god. Look at that light pollution, Jesus Christ. It's like a nuke going off. I think that's from Prague. It's like 80 kilometers away. But, as you can see, the sky over here, it's kind of clear. There's a satellite over there, can you see it? We've all seen satellites, right? If you haven't, well, there it is. Now you've seen it as well. Anytime at night, after sunset, before sunrise, you can see many satellites flying by, especially now that Starlink is kind of... the Starlink constellation is being populated more and more. We have more Earth observation satellites than ever before. We have more space hardware than ever before. However, an important thing about seeing satellites at night is that, well, first of all, you can only see them after sunset or before sunrise. And the reason for that is that you can only see a satellite when it is not in Earth's shadow, when it is illuminated by the sun. We are about to see maybe an example of a bright satellite soon. We should be seeing the Chinese space station flying by quite low south, but I'm afraid there are too many clouds over there. And of course cars driving by with their brights, with their high beams on, directly aiming at the observatory, which, you know, no biggie. Now, you generally cannot see satellites at higher altitudes, even though they would be illuminated for a longer time duration, because they are further away from the Earth. When you get higher and higher in altitude, eventually you get to a point where your satellite can be illuminated by the sun 24 hours a day, and only ever enters Earth's shadow for a few hours a year. Most notably, of course, these are the satellites in the geosynchronous or geostationary orbit. At that point, you are so far away that there is no chance of seeing those satellites with your naked eye. That's what I thought up until now. I actually think it might be possible with your own eyes, provided you have better viewing conditions than right now, to see satellites all the way up in the geostationary orbit, 40 or so thousand kilometers above Earth's surface. I'm gonna quickly hop into heavens above, because I want to see if we can see the Chinese space station. I mean, I think the clouds are kind of moving away. Can you see the plane contrail? You actually can. Okay, so this might be actually possible with the iPhone. Okay. I think the clouds are actually moving away. The viewing conditions are getting more favorable. The very bright star is currently right in the center frame, is Sirius. And the geostationary belt, or the geosynchronous belt, the Clark belt, if you want, is, I think, a few degrees above that. So as you can see, we can see Sirius, which means we should technically be able to see any satellites over there, but yeah, the clouds are too bad. Maybe we'll have to come back later. Anyway, in the meantime, we are expecting the Chinese space station to come up in 4 minutes from now. But as you can see, it's very low south. There's Sirius over there. Or is this Sirius? I actually don't know. No, this is Jupiter. Jupiter is over there. There you go. There's Jupiter, there's Sirius, there's Jupiter, there's Sirius. So the Chinese space station should be passing right under Sirius, so we might actually be able to see it. But it's not the main point of this video. Actually, it might be, because it can give us a reference of brightness magnitude. Okay, so what am I talking about? I sound insane when I say that we should be able to see these geostationary satellites. So A few days ago, I was here doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. I came to the observatory with the intention of watching the Chinese space station passing by on about the same relative path as it's going to be taking today. Now, I wanted to capture like a sequence photo shoot using this telephone, this smartphone with iOS. I was not able to get all of the settings correctly. It kept turning off, it kept resetting. Long story short, I was not able to actually image the Chinese station. But when I reviewed the footage, the very grainy footage, I noticed something interesting. I noticed that one of the bright dots in the sky that normally you would think are stars was not moving together with the other stars. As a matter of fact, it almost looked like it was stationary. Now the clip we're watching on repeat right now is horrible quality, and it was only a couple seconds long. If I slow it down to give you fewer frames per second, because it's a time lapse, you're not gonna be able to perceive the motion, so it kinda has to be horrible like this. However, a few months ago, the exact same thing happened. I don't remember what it was that I was trying to capture time lapse of, but I just happened to have my phone, this phone, on a tripod, sequence shooting, aimed roughly south over in the same direction. And again, I noticed the same thing. Look, there's another satellite coming by right now. It's actually pretty nice that you can see it. I think I'm gonna put the phone on a tripod because if it's handheld, it might screw up the motion. What time is it? We have 1 minute. So I'm gonna put the phone on the bench. You can't see anything anyway. And while I prepare the tripod, I want to further explain what the hell I'm doing here. So again, if we're gonna take a look at the footage from a few months ago, which is so much better, even though the viewing conditions were worse, we can see extremely clearly that there is in fact an object in the sky that seems to not move together with the stars. There is some motion to it, you can see some motion, but remember, this is a sped up time lapse. Normally, satellites in low Earth orbit, which is what you would be seeing, those satellites move significantly faster than the stars. At least when perceived from Earth, right, from the ground. This satellite, this object, is moving slower. Now what does that mean? Well, it means that it is on a very high orbit. But if it's on such a high orbit, I should not be able to see it, and yet, well, there it is. Okay, actually, I did not see it, the phone saw it. But, there you go, they're serious. Let me grab my other phone. Despite that object being on such a high orbit, it is clearly visible in this image, which means it is a satellite or a piece of debris, a spent upper stage of a rocket that is clearly visible from the ground with relatively short exposures using an iPhone, unaided iPhone with no additional lens. What is more interesting is that if you compare it to the star background, more specifically, if we again take a look at our horrible grainy footage, we can actually see Sirius in the same picture, in the same frame, together with some other stars that are borderline visible. But I can say for sure, all of those stars that appear at a similar brightness to this stationary object, to this high orbit object that we've identified, well, not identified so far, but the magnitude, the brightness is about the same. And considering that I can see all of those stars around that object with my eyes, without any help, that means that in theory I should be able to see that object as well. And I probably have, and I haven't realized, because the motion of the stars, your field of view, the human eye field of view, is relatively wide, which means I would not really perceive the difference in motion between that stationary object and the star background unless I knew what I was looking for. And that's why I'm here today. I want to repeat the observation now that I know what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, it looks like we might not be able to do it today. The Chinese station is currently above the horizon. It should be somewhere over here, but there is too much cloud cover. We might see it just pass sort of under Sirius over there. Again, we are using an iPhone, which means no manual focus, so I just kind of have to trust the camera app. to correctly focus at infinity. You can see some dot over there. That's actually a weather station. You can see a red dot blinking in the bottom right. That's actually a TV transmitter, or a TV and radio transmitter. And any minute now, okay, we can see Tiangong, we can see the Chinese station passing under Sirius right now, but of course we had a car drive by. There's some lens flare, ignore the lens flare, but if you look, yeah, you can see it, you can kind of see the Chinese station. So there it is, there's the Chinese space station. The TLE is a bit wrong, it seems, or the data in heavens above are a bit late. This should be 0.5 magnitude, so that's pretty dim. The regular international space station at higher elevation orbits will regularly go above -1. But there you go, clearly visible on the camera. Is it still in view? It is. I'm gonna move the camera again. I'm gonna keep Sirius in view as my reference for video editing when I want to put some marker in to actually show you what we are looking at. So again, we're gonna use the Chinese station as a reference. It is half magnitude brightness. Right now it should be around 0 magnitude. It looks like it should be getting brighter, and it in fact is. Again, I'm gonna adjust the view a little bit. It is currently about 17 degrees above horizon. The geostationary belt is around 30, I think, from my point of view. So, yeah, there we go. There's the Chinese station. It is impressive that the phone can see it like this. I just wish the operating system wasn't garbage. It's really great hardware, but absolutely infuriating software running on top of it. And you can't do anything about that because iOS retains too much control. Even if I actually bought a Pro camera app. Is it still in view? Yes, it is. Any minute now we should be seeing the station fly into Earth's shadow. I think it's happening now. It's hard to tell if it's flying into Earth's shadow or I can see it with my eyes anymore. Actually, I have binoculars. Let me take a peep. I can see it with the binoculars still, but it's getting really dim. But I can see a lot more stars with these binoculars. Oh my god! Is there a thunderstorm? That looked really cool. It just backlit the clouds. Of course there are cars with high beams. That's okay. I'm calm. That looked really cool though. Is there a lightning storm? I mean, it would check out, it's quite warm. This might be second channel content. You know what? This entire video, uncut or with minimal cuts, is going on the second channel. And if I ever do something cooler with it, I'm gonna put it on the main channel. I'm now checking real-time lightning maps. Oh yeah, we had a lightning strike. Okay, so there's a storm coming. That's cool. Oh, we can see Venus. Let me show it to you before it gets in the clouds again. There it is. Look at that. Right next to light pollution. I'm gonna get it all nicely in frame. There's Venus. It's actually a nice composition. You can see all types of sky right now. Nice, clear, overcast, as well as underlit by city lights. Yeah, this actually looks really cool. It's a shame I don't have a better camera to show you because the atmosphere here is really nice right now. If I was in America, I would be afraid there's oh my god, there was another lightning strike. Did you see it? Every time I move the camera away. Okay, so I think it's safe to say we're not gonna be seeing any geostationary satellites today. We can barely see Jupiter. I always get extremely pissed off at the iPhone because it's like fighting me every step of the way. it's just doing things that I don't want it to do and not doing things that I want it to do. But then every time it does something like this, where you can easily pick out, you can even see the difference. You can see the horizon, you can see the sky, even though it's in such low light conditions. The hardware is so impressive. Yeah, I wish you could run Android on it. it's so cool. Okay, this video is going to shit. I don't know what's happening. So, yeah, we're not gonna be seeing any geostationary satellites. I'm gonna try my binoculars. You probably can't see anything. Again, there was lightning strike when I had my hand in front of the camera. I'm actually going insane, by the way. There is. I have these binoculars. These are from my late grandfather, who got them in the army, I think. Yeah, there we go, there's the symbol. I don't know if you can see it. And they're great. I got some higher power ones, but those couldn't focus properly. These ones work really well. I'm gonna take a look at Jupiter, but yeah, it's all cloudy, it's all overcast. So with these binoculars, when it's not overcast, you can actually see the moons of Jupiter. Not today. Oh, that was a nice strike. I'm gonna get my second iPhone ready because yes, I just spent so much time complaining about the iPhone, and I do in fact have two of them. This is an 8, just 8. It's an iPhone 8. I bought both of these because of my YouTube channel, by the way, because I thought I really thought I would be recording videos on YouTube. Believe it or not. What is this? What is this layout? How do I get to brightness? Okay, there it is. Okay, well, so there's the thunderstorm. I want to try. Okay, look, Sirius is almost gone now, so the clouds are getting worse. But I'm gonna try my little experiment regardless. I'm here already. So what I'm gonna do is this. Okay, now frame the camera nicely. There you go. Okay, so now we are recording on both. Now you are watching me from the iPhone 8, so you can see the quality difference is, well, it's noticeable, and it is not focusing at all. And the audio is probably bad, even worse, because I know there's a lot of wind. You know what? That's fine. So here's what I want to do, right? I'm gonna go to the camera app. The field of view of the iPhone 8 is really narrow. So I'm gonna do what I did for those images before, and I'm literally just going to be doing the sequence shooting by hand. And now I want to select 30 seconds, but of course it's iOS, so it won't let me select 30 until on its own it decides now it can do 30. So let's do 30. There we go. And now I have to press the shutter button every 30 seconds because, of course, why the fuck no? Okay, yeah, this is completely useless. All of the stars just disappeared. Let's see what we got. It's just a grainy mess, isn't it? Oh, I mean, it's again, it's moments like this. The camera hardware is so impressive that it can do this. Okay, 10 seconds, and now we wait for iOS to give us 30 seconds. There we go. Press the button. Let's check it out. Cant. Actually, we can see. I think the geostationary belt is passing right through the gap in the clouds right now. So maybe we can do sequence shooting here. Okay, while we're here, let's do one long exposure photo with the light pollution of Prague. For what it's worth, it's gonna give us some nice moody lighting. There we go. That's a cool image. Let's do it. I can see some stars this way, where the thunderstorm was. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the phone. We're gonna align it the best we can. Now we wait for 30 seconds, and now we just do manual presses of the shutter button. And as soon as I'm gonna stop seeing the stars, I'm just gonna go away. Now we wait. We're still at 10. Okay. We keep waiting because we want 30-second exposures. 30. But we went back to 10. Okay, now we wait. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the flashlight. Oh, I can't turn on the flashlight because the video is running. It would be really embarrassing if $100 smartphone could do that thing completely fine. Okay, welcome back. Now I need to be careful not to aim the flashlight at the phone too much. It sure would be convenient if I was able to just turn it off without having to turn off the video, wouldn't it? And guess what? The 14 Pro still can't do it! There actually is enough mist in the air that if I just aim the flash anywhere near the phone, it's gonna eliminate the air around it. Yeah, I'm sorry for the awkward angle, I can't turn off the flash, so I can't... Okay. I need to shut the fuck up. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop recording because clearly the audio is gonna be completely useless, so probably none of this is even making it to YouTube. I'm gonna get back to you when we are going through the long exposure sequence on my computer. What the hell is going on? Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. There's like lights. Someone is... Oh my god, okay. I saw it in my peripheral vision and I... Oh, okay. I don't know what I thought it is. Okay. I just finished doing the long sequence shooting. I ended up just literally sitting next to the phone on a bench and pressing the shutter button every 30 seconds. And you know what? I think there's gonna be something interesting on that footage when we take a look at it on the computer. Maybe tonight wasn't a complete waste of time. The thunderstorm also seems to have kind of stopped. Let's see, one more flash, come on, before I go. Here we have it. Here we have our time lapse. It's not that many photos, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting. You can go to the beginning. A lot of cloud cover. Definitely not ideal conditions. Here we have Sirius. I don't know what this star is. Okay, that's this star. I'm not even gonna try pronouncing that. And if I quickly move, if I quickly step through the images. Oh. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, I was about to say that I think we captured Starlink satellites flaring, but now that I'm looking at it closer, look at that. That's, god damn it, that's lens flare from the car headlights. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, but we did capture some satellite flare over here. Look. Nice satellite flare, nicely visible even through the cloud cover. And I already have Stellarium here. This is the rocket body that launched Cosmos 1340. So this is the spent upper stage of a Vostok rocket. That's why I had this pulled up here. Nice satellite flare. Unfortunately, we did not catch the full flare. I think this might be the... I don't know, you can kind of see something here. I don't know if that's past the flare. Maybe. As far as geostationary satellites go, it's hard to tell when I'm just using the Windows 11 image viewer. Oh, we had another flare here. I think this is some satellite. Or it might be just lens flare from this. Let's see, can we identify what this is? Look, it's like a very transient little image. Or image, a little flare, it just appears in one image and then goes away. Let's see, can we identify this satellite? So obviously there are tools for this, right? There it is, look, it appears. So 922 it's not there, 923 it's there. It's 30-second exposure, so we don't really need much better. So 922 it's not there, 923 it's there. So let's go to 922.14, I guess. 922 like this. And let's see if we can, where is it? If we can locate it. So there's Sirius over here. So that's this star. This is 27 Hydra. That's this. And we can kind of step on the stars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This almost looks like a double star. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this, right? That's right. That's right here. Those two stars here, and then those two stars here. Okay, it should be over here. So whatever object did the flare. Wait, no way, no way. It's GRB beta. No. Okay, that's a tiny CubeSat. That's a Slovakian. That's a Slovakian CubeSat, isn't it? No, it's not it. It's not it. It's not it. Where was it? Where was it? Over here, right? There's the double star. And there's the two stars there. So let's go to anyone. There's something. Look. OneWeb. I think that's it. Big reflective sides. I think this is a OneWeb satellite flare. Look at that. Yeah, I think that's it, because look, that's passing directly through the flare. That's so cool. Oh, Stellarium is so cool. So there it is. Look, that's a OneWeb satellite flare. Again, go through these clouds. That's so cool. And you can kind of see the orbital motion there. It's going up and down. That's definitely it. Yeah, look at that. That's a OneWeb satellite flare. Let's go all the way to the beginning again. See if we can spot anything interesting again. There is a decent amount of view through the clouds where we could see the geostationary belt. Yeah, there was this. This was interesting. I actually saw it with my eyes as well. I was hoping the phone would pick it up. There's like this double satellite flyby, but I think that's just Starlink, right? Oh, there's a lot of satellites, but I think literally all of them are Starlink. So yeah, that's all just Starlink. Is this our OneWeb satellite? Yeah. Figure out the best sequence for our geostationary. So it will be from the first one, 990, to 1010. It's probably the best. Let me ask you something. I know many of you are using iPhones. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. I want to do this automated. I want to take these 30-second low light exposures, automate it. I want to leave the iPhone outside through the entire night, because I guarantee we would see a lot of interesting stuff, probably mainly from medium and high Earth orbit, maybe some meteors. The problem is that the stock camera app, as I've already described, it doesn't have a intervalometer, or you can set an automated photo taking interval, and that's a problem. It means having to take the exposures manually, just like I did today, which obviously is not ideal. I bought the Pro Camera app, which actually does have that functionality, right? You can set it up so it does 30-second low light, long exposures. It seems to use a decent algorithm, probably the same as the stock camera app. It's a bit finicky to set up sometimes, and the settings don't always make sense, but you can get it to work. You can get it to get decent images. However, literally none of that matters, because there seems to be, as always, an iOS software limitation. After some time, the app is just terminated, just turned off, which obviously is a huge issue. Okay, this is probably not going to work the way I intended, is it? Oh no. I wanted to basically stack all of the images, and that way if there was any stationary light source, it would basically keep adding onto itself and become really bright and noticeable. Of course, I'm an idiot and didn't realize that at any point in time, most of the sky is obscured by clouds. So the clouds are what's going to just take over. Okay, this is gonna be faster if I just open it in Kdenlive, isn't it? I'm just gonna load it as a sequence. Fucking hell, I hate this software so much. Jesus Christ, I don't understand. This program keeps getting worse over time. Like, it's... Okay. Okay, image sequence, media, add media, image sequence, PNG. There we go. Loop it. Let's set it to 5 frames. It doesn't matter. We're gonna be scrubbing through it manually anyway. Okay. And we have it in... I put it in the timeline and there we go. Believe it or not, this is even more stable than it was on Linux. I have an idea. I have an idea how to do this. Okay, and we can just do this. We can just look at the difference. So you want to carefully study. You want to carefully study like an arc that would almost look like this, I guess. So these images are too cloudy. And the idea is that any kind of geosynchronous object would be really noticeable. There's a satellite flare. Maybe I'm looking too low. Look at this, what is this? Do you see it? Okay, there's something here, but that looks like a dead pixel. Or just some sort of artifact on the lens. I think I moved the camera here a little. Okay, this is clearly a dead pixel as well. Yeah, but this is way too high. Actually, no, it's not. Oh. Because this is not the horizon, this is not 0 degrees elevation, right? That will be somewhere like here. And this is Sirius, so yeah, I mean, do it kind of. Now, the thing about geostationary satellite flares is that they like to do so only during specific times of the year, around the equinoxes, which is actually right now, or I don't know, like 2 weeks ago actually at this point already. But it's important to keep in mind that not all geosynchronous satellites are geostationary. There's a lot of upper stages and rocket bodies and defunct satellites that are on an inclined orbit and that can flare much earlier or later, before or after the ideal period, the equinox, which, you know, is ideal to be watching for them right now. It also means that even if we draw our little stupid arc on the thing where the geostationary orbit should be, the satellite, if it's inclined, which these are, for example, let's pull this up. I have 2 satellites here, or 2 rocket bodies that I know are prone to flaring, and look at the difference in inclination. And now if we actually open up... let's bring up a weather satellite. Meteosats 12. Right? So this is Meteosats 12. For reference, that's in a perfect geostationary orbit. Look how much inclination there is between these objects. What this means in practice is that if Meteosat 12 is sitting somewhere over here, right? This is Meteosat 12. Wonderful. If you were to watch it for 24 hours, it would look like as if it's just sitting there. But one of these upper stages on an inclined orbit, assuming the period is exactly 24 hours, does this show the period? Yeah. Revolutions per day. If it is exactly 1, and I think this might be exactly 1, the reason it's not exactly 1 is there might be a difference between solar and sidereal. But Meteosat 12 is doing station keeping, so even if it drifts a little bit, it can thrust itself back in sync. But if one of these is inclined and has the 24-hour period, what it's gonna look like in the sky is as if it's tracing like a figure 8 pattern that's centered or with the intersection in the geostationary orbit. And I think this can be asymmetrical depending on how inclined it is. It can look like this. I think it may even look like it's kind of orbiting a point. I'm not sure about this exactly. However, if we actually look at something like this, you can see the orbital period is not exactly 1 day. And again, what that means in practice is that while Meteosat here, or any satellite in perfect station-kept geostationary orbit, is just gonna be sitting here, one of these objects is gonna look like it's doing... Actually, I'm not sure how it would look from the ground. I think something like this, basically, kind of drifting either east to west or west to east, depending on whether the orbital period is more or less than 1 day per rotation. For something really inclined, like this Titan IV Centaur upper stage, it's effectively going to look like this, or maybe like this. Again, I'm not sure right now, but what it means is that at any given point in time, it can be many degrees above or below the geostationary orbit, which means that any periods of flaring that will be normal for objects in geostationary orbit can be offset by many days or even weeks, right? So we don't really need to worry about the equinoxes. But still, this sort of motion is much, much slower than the stars would be moving. So if there was a satellite sitting here, for example, right? There we go. Really, it would look like this, okay? Like this. And we would easily be able to see it, right? That's the idea. Unfortunately, it looks like we are not seeing anything here. It may be because of the clouds, because if we look at Sirius here, this is supposed to be a point source. You can see how distorted it is. So any really faint satellites would get kind of like blurred out and spread out. Not ideal conditions. Maybe we can try again tomorrow.